There's not one guy, one person in the history of this program that's bigger than the program.
Oh, what's up, and welcome into episode number 113
one
of
guy,
the Program Guys
one
podcast.
person
My name is Mason Prince.
in the history of this
you, as always, by
program
Ryan
that's
Tyson,
bigger
Mark
than
Hall,
the
no
program.
Matt Gano, Patrick and Hew this week. Today is Thursday, March 14th. Please don't like, subscribe on our YouTube channel. Trying to hit 2,000 subscribers, folks. If you're watching right now, just hit the subscribe button. It costs you $0, folks. It helps us out more than you know. You can follow us on all of our social media at Program Guys with a Z. You can also find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Program Guys Podcast. Rate us 5 stars. Leave us a good review. We appreciate those as well. Gentlemen, how are we living today? Spring has sprung in Oklahoma. I'm sure it has as well in Texas. Feels absolutely delightful this week in the Sooner State. And the vibes are high. More daylight, more sunlight. Vibes are high.
The vibes might be high, but I despise daylight savings time. And I despise spring because of the allergies. I'm dying already.
Allergies are
and it's
tough.
like the first week.
Mhm.
It's only going to get worse.
Well, and also like the weather change doesn't get me. It's when the wind kicks everything up. And
yeah, it's been windy today.
That's also an Oklahoma specific.
It's been terribly windy this week. Like awful wind, like just unbearable. But yeah, that's old man weather talk for you right there.
But good vibes
savings, though, it was an instrument built to help agriculture in this country. And you know what we no longer need to move the entire world around is agriculture in this country. We just don't need to. We have ways of artificially growing all of this stuff. Let me get my hour of sleep back in the morning because it feels weird waking up when it's so dark outside.
Yeah, it's odd.
I literally do not have a preference on which one you choose. Just stick to one.
I can get behind that. If this
is my thing. Just stop
this is
changing.
The thing.
Just stop
this is
changing.
the thing. Yeah, this is the thing. Let's ride with it. Let's ride.
I like it. Mason started this like, man, everyone's happy up here. There's more time in the day, and we've gotten him down to stick with
sucks.
something.
Yeah, get off my lawn. I feel like
actually I'm having a terrible week.
Actually, thanks for asking. These taxes. All right. Okay. All right.
Hey,
so
boys, taxes program guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here first, you have 1 month and 2 days.
Oh, unreal. Diving in, spring practice has started for the Oklahoma Sooners. It is underway as of this week, and we have some roster updates, some weight changes. Honestly, guys, in terms of like off-season storylines, the weight change from winter to spring is like one of my favorites.
One of the fun.
Just because like I'm not going to toot my own horn because I'm not these guys' level, but like I know what it takes to like gain and lose weight. Like the amount of food you have to eat, how much you have to work out.
Wait. Can we sidetrack and can you give us full details on everything that you mean? I need to know more.
Yeah. What level of competition do you know the need?
How much peanut butter are you stuffing into your?
Not a lot. Not a lot of peanut butter, but a lot of ground beef, a lot of chicken. I'm anyone who doesn't know, I'm a CrossFitter. Okay. And I'm a three-time.
I didn't know that.
3-time back-to-back Tomahawk CrossFit Games champion, in case anyone's wondering. In case you're wondering, oh, Mason, what does that even mean? It means I'm the fittest in my gym. Common denominators, Mason Prince. I've had 3 different partners, 3 different years, but whatever, it's fine.
Wow.
So like I know a thing or two
He's
about
like Michael Phelps on these.
Wow.
in the gym.
Next stop.
Yeah.
Paris for the Olympics, right?
Next
baby?
stop, Paris.
Do you have any eligibility left to play college football? Because positions.
Dude, I might.
Might have a chance.
I love that he's thinking about it. I love
dude.
He's like, hey, you know what?
Dude, I could pull.
He's like, I feel great right now.
I could pull a Baker and show up.
I
could pull a Baker and show up and tell Brent, like, hey, I'm your new wide receiver. And he'd be like, not with that gut, you're not. But like,
I don't know if I would put your wide receiver, Mace, but
you wouldn't put me a receiver?
I don't think I would.
Where am I going?
I love this. Hold on. Mason, height, weight. Let's go.
Long snapper,
Oh,
maybe.
Long
That
snapper,
could be
fair
a,
enough.
that
I
could
can
be
do
a
that.
spot.
snapper. He
5'10",
hardly knows it.
5'10", 193 as of this morning.
That's hot. You're a wide receiver. I don't know how he's. What
He's
else
not a
would
wide
he be?
receiver.
I
What
don't know.
is he?
What's your 40?
Oh, now?
Lightning.
Dude, now probably
Is it
5'2".
higher? Is it better or worse than Drake Stoops?
Oh, way worse. Way worse. Way worse. Not
we've-
much worse. Let's be clear. Not
We've
much
gone-
worse.
We've gone way off topic.
You know, we're off the rails. It's the off season. If you're still
Already
with
off
us,
the rails.
if you're still with us, we appreciate it.
Imagine
Some
shutting
weight
it
changes.
off because this was the first few minutes. Who would do that? You know what you clicked.
Yeah, come on. Weight
We
changes.
know we're not adding listeners. We know what you clicked.
Nick Anderson up 6 pounds. Kip Lewis up 8 pounds. Danny Sussman up 5. Trace Ford up 6. R. Mason Thomas up 7 pounds. Troy Everett up 11 pounds to 305. That's nice to see him over 300. Logan Howland up 22 pounds to 306. Taylor Wine up 9 pounds to 257. Those are the upperclassmen. But anything stick out
in there too?
Well, yeah, I mean,
What do we count as upperclassmen?
I'm just
count
not freshmen.
Okay,
Yeah,
not
just
Learning
freshmen. Got it.
players.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm crazy over here and being like upperclassmen, junior and seniors only.
The Kip Lewis 8 pounds is huge because he's not done. Like I think he'll add like 5 more.
Yeah, but it's such a big addition from the guy we had last year who looked like he was probably under the listed weight. I think that with the kind of speed that Kip brings to the field, you got to be very careful with how much weight you add, how much mass you add. I think that's a good 8 pounds probably. If he had 20 pounds on him, I'd be worried.
I know. So would I. But Logan Howland, 22-pound difference from winter to spring. That's impressive. I mean, I know he's a big boy, but that's really impressive. Ryan, anything stick out to you?
Not really. I mean, yeah, it's, I'm looking at like Danny and Trace, and I'm like 5 pounds, 6 pounds. Like that's not like, I'm curious on what the line is for them to start getting like too heavy in a way that they can't move like they've moved before. I think that's fine. I don't think that's big enough change. But at the same time, like Danny's quick, Trace was quick. Are they going to slow down at all going into this with a weight gain? I don't know. I don't think so, but
yeah,
you guys know more probably about this than I do, as you guys played football and I did not. So
I mean, they're putting on weight. They put on all that weight in the winter, and you essentially are gonna cut not a good amount, but you're gonna cut some of it down during spring and summer. Just because of it being hotter, you're expending more energy, you're sweating more, all of that. Like that's what's gonna happen. So like the 5 pounds for Danny Stutzman may end up being like 2 pounds by the time we get to the fall, or something like that. But it's important right now to definitely put on weight, because that's what the winter is for in football, is to just bulk up and try to get as big as you can, and then you taper it down and thin out or whatever you need to do. Mark?
Well, so it's interesting, right? Because generally for most players, I agree with you. You've got developing bodies and you need to add this weight now, knowing that you're going to lose some as you get ready to actually play ball in the fall, right? So you're right to point out a player like Logan Howland putting on weight like that. I'd also think someone like Taylor Heim, who we haven't seen very much, if any of, right? He is 14 pounds heavier than he was last year. Taylor Wine, if I can find him, I can't. I had this pulled up. 9.
Of 9.
Yeah,
of 9.
just guys putting on good weight. I want to flip to the other side though, because while that's usually what you want to see, there's a select handful of guys who actually lost weight, and you got to think that's on purpose. That's a game plan. right? Andrell Anthony, probably injury, right? He loses the most weight on the team at 7 pounds. Right after him is Kobe McKenzie, who cut 6 pounds. You know who's probably going to look like a freaking monster manning the middle of the field, dropping 6 pounds at this point already? It's Kobe McKenzie. The next 4 guys drop 4 pounds: Jaleel Farouk, Jackson Arnold, Jaquez Petaway, Cade McIntyre. One of those guys got hurt in McIntyre. The rest are just tightening up. I truly think that you're not going to put weight on Jaquez Petaway. You're going to get him tighter and you're going to get him faster. Same thing with Jackson Arnold. He came in at 215, 216. Yeah. It's not a lot, but, you know, Jaron Kanek lost 2 pounds. Did y'all expect that? I wouldn't have. I think it's really interesting to look at who chose to lose weight, who the staff chose to lose weight, and then also who didn't really do much at all. Did you guys look at any of the defensive linemen who just did?
Yeah, there was talk about PJ not having a big difference.
I feel like his is fake.
I know. I don't feel like that's real. I think
that they're just not revealing it.
I was talking to a buddy who kind of brought it up to me, and he was down. Wait, I don't have it in front of me. I don't know what he was down, but that to me seems like a guy who they didn't figure out. Like,
it was like 241 to 240. It's like,
yeah, it's like they didn't figure out the right nutrition plan for him. And I think that's
real. I think the numbers the lie.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. Because like what people need to understand, what people need to understand about this, like in a college football sense, these guys aren't going back to their dorm and just like nobody's watching what they eat. Like when they're eating meals, like it is force fed to them, like down to the calorie. Like they know the science behind getting these guys weight and building them the most muscle. Like they don't miss meals. So if a guy's losing weight, I think it's on the nutrition staff, and I'm not like blaming them. Like everybody's different, but I think I don't put it as much on PJ being like, oh, he didn't work hard enough. Like I highly doubt that. Highly, highly doubt that.
Yeah, I think that you look at some of the defensive linemen that didn't put on weight at all. Like Ashton Sanders puts on 1 pound. I just don't believe that. I think that there are some of these numbers that you kind of have to take with a grain of salt and assume that they are withholding information a little bit, like the old regime used to do at every turn. I just think I can't imagine that some of these guys didn't put on more weight just naturally with their bodies, unless the attempt was to lose weight again. But if that's the case, we only have one defensive lineman that's over 300 pounds.
Yeah. As for the freshman, David Stone is up 8 pounds. Danny Okoye up 15. He needed that. Wyatt Gilmore up 13 pounds. Xavier Robinson up 8 pounds. Michael Boganowski up 7 pounds. Josh Isosa, I should say, up 17 pounds, and Eugene Brooks up 14 pounds to 334. That dude's a unit, man.
Isosa 322, and what's his Eugene 334.
That's crazy.
Big boys,
dude.
That's what we need.
Ryan. Yes, we absolutely need them.
That's what we've been talking about.
Yeah, for however long we've had this podcast.
It's like north of 300. That's what we want. And now that we're going in the SEC, it's like, okay, we need to be like north of like 320. And here we go.
Everyone who might actually play along the offensive line is now above 300 pounds.
That's great news.
Everyone who might actually, Logan Howland got above 300. Heath Ozida got above 300, and impressively so. Now you're looking at Jake Taylor at 303, and he's a small looking guy. That's a good move, man. All of the freshmen that came in are breaking 300 when they get here, except for maybe Eddie Pierre-Louis, who was not a spring enrollee. That's good looks, man, because that was not the case 2 years ago.
No, I was going to say it. I'm glad you did. This is not the case 2 years ago.
Yeah.
No, there's no way. Not with the way they trained. And no, they're going to go ahead, Ryan.
No, it's good because we're playing very different defensive lines.
100%
starting this year.
Oh yeah,
we're gonna have to change something. So I'm glad to see it. even though we've been worried about the O-line and we still are.
Mhm.
It's good to see, at least from like a numbers perspective, that we're getting up there.
Mhm.
Well, and I mean, look at the guys who came in that weren't freshmen. Garen Hatchett is a redshirt senior out of Washington from the University of Washington, 302. Michael Tarquin from USC. That guy's going to have fun conversations with everyone on the roster, right?
Mhm.
6'6", 309. Spencer Brown is gigantic. I can't find him. I don't know what his number is going to be. But in any case, there's just such an emphasis on it that there hasn't been in the past. And I think that's really cool. And it's something that we also see in the defensive backfield where routinely guys are just like breaking 6 feet now. Woody Washington is small in this defensive backfield. I can't get over Union's finest, Jaden Rowe, 6'2", 228. What is keeping this guy off the
Dude,
field?
I don't know.
Why is he not a cheetah?
Dude,
He's so fun.
dude, it's
In
crazy.
theory, I guess. Never seen-
Golly. Also fun. I just saw it. Phil Picciotti, 6'3", 237. That's fun to me. I don't know.
Is he
Like,
actually not going to be hurt for the first time ever?
Dude, I know. That's the thing, right? Like,
It's really the question.
will we see him in the spring game or at spring ball on 420? I don't know. I'd love to. I think it'd be sick. But golly, dude. I don't know. I don't know. Lot up in the air. Lot up in the air still as we continue on with spring ball. Also go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, just real fast. My Excel finally started working. 3 players who added more than 5% body weight. Take a guess.
Are you doing math over there on Excel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take
You're
a
taking
guess.
like a total and then dividing. Okay.
So I'll give you Logan Howland, right? 22 pounds. That's easy. Take a guess at the next 2. Both of you have one guess.
Danny Okoye.
Okay.
What are we guessing? Sorry, body
I-
fat?
No,
body weight.
Whose body
Oh, okay.
percentage change? Like,
Got it.
Logan Howland, for example, he's the highest on the roster,
Yeah.
7.75%. He just added 7% of himself to the world.
I'm gonna say, ooh, Okoye is a good one. Maybe like Kip Lewis. 'Cause he's on the lighter end.
I love it. So here's the thing: I didn't add freshman weights. I just didn't have them.
That's fair. That's fair. No, that's fair.
Mason, we're throwing yours out. Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
Ryan.
Fair.
So the answers, number 2 is Taylor Heim, who added 14 pounds, 7% of his body weight, basically.
Okay.
And then Caleb Hicks, who added 12 pounds, nearly 6% of his body weight.
Okay.
That's a guy I'm excited about.
Yeah.
Just for example.
Yeah.
Kip Lewis, number 4.
I was close.
Ryan.
I was close.
Good call.
It's the lighter ones you gotta take into
Dude,
account.
I guarantee you, the whole year last year, they just saw Kip play and they're like, we gotta like put like 10 to 15 pounds on this guy. Like we absolutely have to. And they're well on their way of continuing to do that. I'm really excited about this linebacking core. I think this year is a big step forward for them. Even though they took a big step forward last year, I'm just saying another year under their belt. Man, I'm really excited about what they're going to look like. It's going to be fun.
Last year was the year that Danny Stutzman really took the step. This year, someone else has the possibility to, and then that unit becomes incredible because you know you have depth now. You need someone to own the other spot.
I mean, it's gonna be Kip Lewis, right?
I think
Like
so.
we can get in the
Yeah.
predictions later, like later down when we
Yeah.
get closer to the season, obviously. But like, he's got it all in front of him. I think like we've seen it. We just,
Wouldn't you say Kobe McKenzie does too?
I would, yeah.
I would say yes, but not as. He's not the one. I remember Kip Lewis last year more than I remember Kobe McKenzie.
They chose
like
Kip
that-
Lewis last year. for
That
sure.
to me makes it seem like that. Like he's got the reins. Is he going to take advantage of it? I guess we'll see.
I still refuse to quit Jaron Kanek. I refuse to quit him.
He's on.
And I'm not saying anybody here is,
No.
but he's a guy I refuse to just be like, yeah, okay, 2 years, I've seen enough.
Incredible that you were so down on Danny and you're so up on Jaren when they're the same person.
It's the way
But-
we start on a guy,
Mhm.
right? It's
Mhm.
it's all about our priors.
Look, and I will look, man. I never shied away from the Danny hate. All right, I will bear that cross forever. That's fine. I'll do it.
But you love
Jaren
his
Kanak
little
is a
brother.
guy, like we said, lost 2 pounds. That's another guy that's tightening up.
Mhm.
He's
Yeah.
going to be a monster. Look out for him just rushing the passer.
His
Designated
athleticism
every
has
time
never
down
been
the
the concern, though. It's
Right.
always been like the way
Never.
he views the field.
Yep.
Never
Right.
the concern.
It's like
yeah.
it's his
Yes.
skill set, it's his foresight,
So
it's like
good at
those
it.
kind of things. And
It's-
so yeah.
I think his
Sorry.
athleticism was never the question. It's like his pursuit was always questionable. You'd be like, why'd
Like,
you take
why are
that?
you going that route?
Why'd you take that lane? Like,
Yeah.
why'd you go there? Like, and he would just recover because he was
And
fast.
that's what I feel like Kip Lewis already has.
Mhm.
And it's so much harder to build that.
It's instinct. It's
Yeah.
instinct. It goes back to what Brent said day 1, game 1, whatever with Jaren Kanak. He still doesn't know how to be a linebacker
Mhm.
kind of thing.
But Danny didn't either. Really,
No,
at
I'm with
first.
you. I'm
So
with you.
we'll see.
And maybe this is the year that Jaren takes the step. I don't think we have another linebacker who's as naturally gifted rushing the passer as Jaren Kanak is. He just
Hmm.
gets his ass there.
Mhm. Yeah.
If all we do with him is rush the passer, send him on blitzes, I'm fine. I'm good with
Yeah.
that tendency.
Let us know down below in the comments what you think of the linebacker room and what these weight changes mean to you, if anything at all. Do you take any stock in this? We read every single one of your comments. Okay, Jackson Arnold changing his name from number 10 to number 11. Number. What did I say?
Name.
Wow.
He's just casually changing
Like
his name
Prince.
to the
Ooh.
number 11.
Yikes. Yeah, Chad Ochocinco. Jackson.
Meta world peace.
Jackson. What's 11? What's 11 in Spanish?
Once.
Once.
Once. Jackson Once.
Jackson.
That's actually kind of hard though. Now that I
Yeah,
say it
it
out
really
loud,
is.
we might have found a new nickname.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it later. Jackson Arnold, his jersey number is now going to be 11 from 10. He's back to his high school number. He was number 11 at Denton Geyer. So, and also we talked about his weight change, right?
Imagine
So,
buying a 10 last year.
man,
That sucked.
and a lot of people did. Like,
Sure.
a lot did.
Oh yeah. Dude
Who
was
had
doing
11?
radio hits before he ever put on the jersey. Like, people love Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Who had
Of course they
11
did.
last year that didn't
It
allow
was
him to
Bevel.
have 11? It was Bevel. That's what
It
I
was
thought.
Davis
Okay.
Bevel.
That's
Not
what
a
I
great
thought.
jersey in OU lore at this point, I guess.
I'll do respect. I hope he's gonna have a great rest of his career. But yeah, that's good for Jackson. I mean, if he played like he did in high school, this team's gonna be really, 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 really good.
Yeah.
Like,
Just don't throw 4 picks. That's my only ask.
I know.
Have we done the EA college football game thing with the projected ratings? Have we talked about that? Because
We
a little
did.
bit we did, right? But Jackson Arnold
Yeah.
can't be rated that high going into the year, right?
No,
I would imagine
he'll
no.
be 70s or something.
It's
I
got to be
think.
like 75 to 79. I don't know
Mhm.
how a guy who hadn't played comes in above 80.
Mhm. He won't.
And
He won't.
unless you're Manning and you just have to get out, you just have to step out because you might be ranked too high and you don't want to
this.
you don't
so
want
fun.
it to be distracted,
You
What a
can't be
bum.
distracted from
Can't be distracted.
from your prep.
An
Like, what's he gonna
absolute-
do? What,
Absolute
how much
joke.
time does this?
I just like to throw bombs in front of Mason and just see if he will take the bait and I
What
just
he
run
does
away.
For as unserious and as media savvy as his uncles and his father are, he wants to come with the BS about, oh, yeah, I'm here to focus on football. Like, shut up. Shut up. You're third string. Get out of my face. Like, fine. I won't play with you.
He's second
He's the
string.
backup
He's not
now.
third.
He's the backup now. That guy went to Duke. We don't have to worry
Mhm.
about him anymore.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Whatever. Check out my LVP last week or 2 weeks ago if you want to know my thoughts on Arch Manning. Okay. OU football staff salaries. we'll move on to that. That was announced because Oklahoma, those of you who may not know, you're like, why are you talking about what other people are making? Oklahoma is a publicly,
We are pocket watchers.
Yeah.
We're
is a publicly,
haters.
yeah. It's a publicly funded university.
I thought you were
And
about to say publicly traded company, and I was
No.
going to laugh.
No, it's
But
it's
if you want to invest,
yeah. So it's a state funded university.
Crimson and
So
Cream
we
and
get
IL
to-
fund, baby.
So we get to
No,
know
no.
what people make.
the program
to know.
guys.
That's right. Seth Luttrell, 1.1 mil. He's the
OC.
only assistant over a milli. Joe John Finley at
Nope, he's
900K. What'd you say?
He's not. Keep going.
Okay. Oh, I missed.
Oh, you
Yeah.
did.
I
You
missed
did.
it. Yeah, no, that's fine. Regardless, Zach
The Zen
Alley.
Dog.
Zach Alley at 850.
Okay, can I stop and talk about this
Mhm.
for a second? Because
Yeah.
this man is
Don't say it.
9 years old and making $850,000, and I am 30.
It's pretty wild, dude.
And I will
Making
never
how
make
much?
this much money in my
I'm
life.
just kidding.
I'm not telling you that.
I know.
but-
I was just trying to make a joke.
He's really grinded.
Dude.
like what a dude. Like, good for him, man.
And you're going to get to, so obviously he's the DC, right? We don't know if he's going to call plays, but he's the DC.
Mhm.
He makes the most among everyone on the defensive staff. There's got to be some freaking camaraderie
Yeah.
among that staff for Todd Bates and Miguel Chavis and not Emmett Jones. I'm sorry. Jay Valai to let that guy come
Like,
in,
be okay with it.
be the DC and be cool with the setup. Yeah.
He's
that's
what,
all.
15 years younger than some of them?
He's young.
10
Oh, yeah.
to 15.
He's
So
young.
like
Yeah.
they
Maybe 20
And he's
for
the new-
some of them.
And he's the new guy on the block who was coaching at Jacksonville State. Like
Yep.
those guys got to be close from the time at Clemson. Plus Jay Valai's a homie, I guess.
I know 29
Sorry,
year
continue.
I know 29 year
Mason.
olds who are like trying to still make it drop shipping. And he's out here making 850K.
Hey, I'd love to get into that.
Jay Valai, 750K. Todd Bates, 800K. Bill Bedenbaugh, the other assistant, over $1 million. Thank you. 1.05 mil for Bill. Miguel Chavis, 650. Emmett Jones, 664. DeMarco Murray, 575. Brandon Hall, 500. And the total $7.839 million for that part of the coaching staff. There's other staffers and stuff that are making other things, I'm sure, that add up. So anything stick out to you guys there?
Boy, it's crazy. We're paying them all less than Caden Green makes at Mizzou. I don't think that's right. I don't think that's
You might not be like that
You
far
may
off.
not
is
be
the- is the
far
thing.
off. You may not be far
We
off,
don't
though.
know what's happening in Missouri other than their DC or their
Yeah, other than their AD leaving and
Yeah,
no one
AD
involved in
leaving.
sports involved in their replacement. Something is happening at Mizzou.
somebody.
Yep.
Hey, I am not a source. All right. I'm not saying
No.
anything.
No, I think Missouri will look a lot different this time next year. That's all I got to say about that. I just don't think they're long for this world. But you know, that's fine. Hey, go
My
Tigers.
thoughts on the salaries.
Yes.
You got to
Get us
spend
out.
money to
Yeah.
keep these people. Like, pay your
Yeah.
people. If you have it, do it. Like, this is Oklahoma. This is not some like third-rate school. Pay your people.
Mhm. Oh yeah,
Keep
you're gonna
them.
have to do this.
So
You're gonna have to do this because that's so going back to like Nick Saban and Kirby Smart. This is something they dealt with. Well, Nick dealt with, now doesn't. Kirby had to deal with. Everyone wants your assistance. When you are good, everyone wants them. So you are going to have to pay them not just competitively, top dollar if you want them to stick around. Because somebody else is going to promote them and pay them more, all that stuff. Like, you have to pay them top dollar to get them to stay.
And for
And
the
I
most
completely
part, those
agree,
guys have to take those deals, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's money. It's like you might not
Yeah.
ever get the chance again. And we made them all whole. All these dudes' agents were talking to SEC teams. We know
yeah.
they were. Bill Bedenbaugh flirted with Alabama. He should, because it
Mhm.
got him a raise. He already got a raise this offseason, and now we got another one.
Mhm.
That's just good business. And I love that Joe C is making it a priority, because the thing about Alabama is they lost guys every year, and Nick had to just keep rebuilding. Brent isn't having to do that in the same way he would. Everyone who got brought up was either on staff or is his guy from back in the day. I think that's, and we're making it a deal to keep that continuity in the house. One day, maybe we won't have to, but I think it's so important going into the first year in the SEC that you have one voice, one people kind of deal going on in that locker room.
And
I
it's so
interrupted
funny
the
that
shit out of you, Mason. I'm sorry, man.
It's
You
just
what?
one.
I interrupted
didn't.
you.
One jump in on this because I think it's so funny. Like Mark, I think you're 100% right when you say like keeping the continuity. We're going into this year with a new offensive coordinator and a new defensive coordinator, and it still feels like we're keeping the continuity. So I think like that is a testament to what this organization and what the leadership of this organization is trying to do.
It's fresh change. It's not like it's not a fill in the spot. Go ahead, Mace.
What I like that we're doing to that point, Ryan, is yes, new defensive coordinator, new offensive coordinator, but Brent is so confident in the staff that he's already built that he says, yeah, my guys will work with your system, but these are my guys and they're not going anywhere. Like, that's when you know you're doing the right thing. When you're so confident that no matter what system is thrown in, I got confident in my guys to not only learn it, but also teach it. Because that's and not leave and recruit guys to play in that system and be like, hey, you got Miguel Chavis going house to house this all season, being like, hey, I don't know what this defense is going to look like, but I know that I'm confident in the defensive coordinator. I'm confident in Todd Bates. I'm confident in the guys that I'm surrounded by. We're going to be just fine. And that's what you need. Because he's like, I've been here for 2 years already. I know what it's going to be. We're going to be Oklahoma. And that you can pitch that all the time. That's what Nick Saban did. And I'm not saying Brent Venables, Nick Saban. I'm saying
but that turnover
that's what did. Yeah, that's what they did. They had turnover all the time, but all Nick Saban had to do was go in and say, we're Alabama. This is what we're going to do. The names change. Alabama doesn't change. Like, this is what it is. So I'm happy about it. I'm happy.
Zach Alley's whole thing is he runs Brent's defense too. Yeah. And so those guys are able to go into those living rooms and recruit and not be lying, right? Mm-hmm. They're going to say, no, this is the Oklahoma you've seen in the last 2 years. It's just going to be better. That's all you have to say. And I mean, you got to say more, right? You're playing the game now, but it from explaining yourself and explaining the new play caller potentially, that's all you got to do. Mm-hmm. This is still Brent's defense.
Yep. I'm with you on that. Ryan, anything?
Ryan, who are we paying too much?
Ooh, this is fun. I think you can make a case for Zach Alley. However, you have to pay him more than the other defensive assistants since he's the defensive coordinator. So I get it.
I need DeMarco Murray to be paid more.
So here's my hot take. Is that DeMarco Murray is actually just fine where he is. And we've talked about this before. He just hasn't proven it yet. He hasn't. He's been here a while and he really hasn't proven it. And I need him to prove it.
He doesn't have the 5-star, Heisman caliber finalist to like hang on the mantle. I can agree.
I don't think you need the 5-star. That's not what
players. That's what it really is. Because Mixon and P. Ryan were Kill Gundy guys.
Yeah.
And you look at what like is happening on the defensive line right now with people like, like Danny, who is not necessarily our current defensive line's recruit. However, no, Stutzman.
Defensive lineman at all.
Sorry, that's not so defense. Just in
general.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Just in general. Just in general. Like defense in general. Like they are still getting better. Like they are being developed. I don't think we've seen that development in the running back room. I love DeMarco. I think he's a great recruiter. I don't think we've seen the development that he needs to be able to do. And that's part of the reason why you see that number, which is one of the lowest on the team. And I don't know if there's other people trying to poach him that allows him to argue what he's making, like some of these other guys are.
Yeah,
I
I can
mean,
get where you're coming from.
And
so
I'll grant you the current guys on the roster, but he was also heavily involved in Kennedy Brooks and Ramondre Stevenson getting drafted. There are guys that he's had success with,
sure.
but Gavin last year was maybe not even the Gavin we saw from the Cheez-It Bowl, right?
Yeah.
And Javante Barnes, maybe he was hurt. I don't really know what went on there.
And I think it's
So
kind of
I think
unfair.
I agree with your larger point, but
Yeah.
I wanted to defend DeMarco's
Yeah, and
resume
I
a little
love
bit. Not to mention
I
he's
love
a
DeMarco.
superb recruiter. These
Superb.
guys
Mhm.
love DeMarco Murray. There might not be a more successful NFL running back doing the gig like he is, and he can
Agreed.
speak to people in a different way. So I think
I
he
agree with
deserves
that.
every one of those $575,000.
I agree. I'm just saying, like, I know a hot topic has been like, why is he not getting paid more? Why is he one of the least highly paid assistants on our roster? Like all of that kind of stuff. And I think it has to do with outcomes. And I think he's kind of in an unfair position where historically our running back room at Oklahoma has been stellar, including DeMarco himself. And that creates a stigma is not the right word, but a precedent
An
that
expectation. Of course, you're
that you need to hit, and he has not been hitting it, I don't think. So from an
Yeah.
outcome perspective, from like a results on the field perspective,
Yeah.
Watch out for fall enrollee Taylor Tatum.
I'm ready for it. I'm
Be
ready
fun.
for DeMarco to make all
or,
his
or
money.
5-star.
Be
on
fun.
that one.
Okay.
Mason, who's making too much money?
mm,
Just not a nice question to ask.
I mean, I don't know. You could, I guess Emmett Jones, but he comes in with the previous, experience at a Division I program, and he has the resume that you can pitch to where that salary makes sense. I don't know.
I never
But
gave my answer actually. I just said
I
why
thought you said
DeMarco should
DeMarco.
be, but DeMarco he's getting paid just the right amount. He's
You're
not
right.
getting paid too much.
Ooh, okay.
So
So
you're saying-
Mason
I
says
think it's
Jones. Who you got?
I think I'm gonna say Jay Valai. I
That
think
was going to be my thing.
I think he's
Okay.
I think that's really high to be above people like Chavis and Jones. I think those two in particular in my mind. Like that's a lot. And I understand his experience and like where he came from and everything like that, and that
Damn.
has a part to play in all of this. But I think if we're just looking at numbers, that's probably the one.
I think he's an example of a really great agent because
Yeah.
you leverage that Bama experience
Yeah.
into your first contract. And then from there, you can only get raises. You are
Yep.
never going to go down. So he came in highly regarded and has joined the group and done really well. Gentry Williams,
Mhm.
Woody Washington has had a market improvement in his play. Kendall Dolby was insane last year. And we have a trio of now sophomores that are going to be just dogs out there. I can't wait.
Yeah.
But I think that's an example of a guy just with a great agent more than anything else.
Yeah. Let us know down below in the comments who you think is making too much money. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. But your thoughts are always
Don't do that.
appreciated. Your thoughts are always appreciated. Okay. Crystal balls and future casts continue to be dropped for this one recruit that we want to go over. That's 2025 5-star offensive tackle Ty Haywood. The most recent I saw was a Rivals future cast from a Texas A&M
That's the
writer.
most recent one I saw.
That's the
flip.
most recent. Yeah. And he flipped from Texas A&M. So, I mean, it continues to look good. Ryan made the point last week. I think we're a long
I will
freaking
not
way
get
away.
invested.
I
I
know.
refuse to get invested.
We're a long way away, but it's gotta feel good leading into these summer months like this when you are getting ready for the commitments and like the hard push into the fall and like trying to convince guys and all that stuff. If you could get this Ty Haywood guy to commit this summer, maybe that'd be a lot of fun. I don't know
That'd
if
be
he will,
huge.
but he's a lot of fun. He's a large human being, man. That it's crazy how they make him now. Just huge. Huge.
Well, and I want to speak to one thing. The Sooners were in heavy on Michael Fasusi out of Louisville High School in Louisville, Texas. He's 6'4", 285, and almost the way you like slot one guy in, slot one guy out. 247 has him 100% now to Texas, and at the same time, we've gotten a Texas insider flipped to Oklahoma, or prediction flipped to Oklahoma, an A&M prediction flipped to Oklahoma, and Josh McQuiston from Sooner Scoop flipping to, or not flipping, but predicting Ty Haywood to Oklahoma. So it's very interesting how your focuses go in and out. I mean, hopefully you pull both, right? Bama back in the day would pull both in some of these
Yeah, they pulled
cases,
everybody.
but to some degree, two guys playing the same position, only one can man the left side. So I can understand, hey, if this guy's leaning more Texas now, you audible immediately. You go to the 6'6", 275 star, and you just see what you can do with him. Seems like it's going really well.
Ryan, anything to add?
No, I mean, my my take remains the same. I think he would be great. It's March. Like literally in the past 2 months, this dude has gone from like being like crystal ball to OU and then flipping around based on like his visits that he's taken to like A&M in Texas. So like I again, I think it's good news. I'm happy about it. But I also am not allowing myself to get fully invested until we get closer to the summer.
I get that. Let us know down below in the comments what you think. Go ahead, Mark.
One more. We've seen ever since Jonah Williams tweeted out, like, good thing they're only predictions, right?
Yeah.
That had us all on edge a little bit. 5-star safety linebacker out of Galveston. Since then, there's been 2 more predictions that he will go to Oklahoma, even though he's visiting just a buttload of places during his circuit.
So many.
Which he should do.
Yeah.
But I'd say we'd rather be in this position than any other with his recruitment too. So it's a cool one. Just want to give one quick update on the Nate Roberts recruitment. I dropped a crystal ball on him. He's got 5 visits listed over or scheduled over the summer. I don't remember 1 or 2 through 3, 2 through 4, but 1 is Ohio State, who is our chief competitor, and 5 is Oklahoma. So OU gets the last visit, provided he doesn't commit before that time. So fingers crossed, I can keep my 100% ball drop rate.
That'd be sick.
Be sick.
We love him. Mark's balls drop with efficiency.
Hall's balls action.
Yep, absolutely. PGP MVP of the week time, boys. So let's go ahead and give our MVPs of the week. I'll go ahead and start us off. My MVP of the week, Baker Reagan Mayfield. Baker Reagan Mayfield signing a 3-year deal worth $115 million, $50 million guaranteed to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's staying in the NFC South. I cannot explain how happy I am for Baker. Like, to be counted out as many times as he was counted out in his short NFL career as it already is, it's a lot of fun to see him go down there and someone just say to him once again, hey, prove it. And then he does. And then he gets a payday because of it. That's super awesome. Also super awesome, he's about to be a new dad. And that's super sick too. Like, you're getting a big old payday and you're about to have a kid and you get to live in Florida. That's pretty sick. Good for him, man. That's dope. That's my MVP.
Go.
You want me to go? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
My MVP might be Mark's LVP. I don't know. Kirk Cousins.
Whoa.
And I'm saying
MVP.
I'm saying MVP because I don't know if there is a player on this earth who, I don't know what he has. I don't know if he has the best agent in the entire world or what.
He's got to.
But Lord Almighty, the business transactions that this man has made over the past like 10 years of his career are insane. Like, insane. He's going to the Falcons from the Vikings on a 4-year deal. He is 36 years old. He is coming off a year-ending Achilles injury, and he got a 4-year deal, guaranteed 90 mil, I think, or 100 mil, 100 mil guaranteed, which is just amazing. Just like incredible stuff from him and his agent. Again, I don't know how Mark really feels about this, but he did us well in Minnesota. and I'm glad he was there. It was time for us to move on. I think this works best for all parties involved, at least from my perspective. So MVP, Kirk Cousins and his agent for being able to pull that off.
That wasn't going to be any part of my VPs, but I'm going to address it just real fast.
Yeah.
So I looked at the structure of the deal, right? It is 100 million guaranteed, as you said, 90 million in the first 2 years. So if he's terrible year one, you're going to have to eat it. You're just going to have to eat that. That part sucks. But if you wanted to release him in year 3 or year 4, you're only on the hook for $10 million in year 3. What are we going to do? Get a rookie who is a possibility? I mean, I don't like the Achilles thing any more than anyone else does. I can't help but envision like we're in week 3 and the overwhelming storyline is obviously this wasn't going to work. He was coming off an Achilles. So, fingers crossed, man. But the structure,
you got some weapons in Atlanta though.
Right?
And I think he'll be good.
Yeah.
I think he'll be good.
The structure of the deal makes me feel a little bit of comfort, and there are weapons. No one has thrown them the ball. It's been Taylor Heineke and Desmond
and he will
Ridder
throw
and
them
Marcus
the ball.
Mariota, and he will throw them the ball very well.
Yes.
So fingers crossed. All he's got to do is be like a steady, hand.
How's your offensive line?
Sort of deal. Really good for running the ball, and so and really good with the play action. Right. That was Arthur Smith's whole thing. So long as you build the thing the right way, the offense the right way, Zach Robinson comes from very similar, schemes and ideas as Arthur Smith as an offensive coordinator. There are ways to make this thing work. I didn't have one ready, but I'm going to go LVP. Justin Fields, man. Ain't nothing out there for the homie.
Nothing.
I thought Vikings might bite, but they didn't. They went with Sam Darnold and said, Jesus Christ.
Darnold and
pray for me over the next year. But we have right now 135 mil in cap space for 2025. We're shitty this year, but we're setting up for 2025.
So does that account for when you trade Jefferson for team lines and
that does not account for Jefferson's pending very, very large contract.
It's got to be massive. Yeah. Dude, that sucks for Justin Fields. Like, I mean, I don't know the dude as a person, but like,
you can't do it.
Yeah. It just, God, man. Sometimes it's crazy how stuff like that works out. Like a guy can have all the talent in the world, but you're put in a bad situation. And that's why stuff like that makes me like feel for Caleb Williams. I'm like, yeah, dude, act like an asshole. Make the Bears not pick you at this point, because the last thing that Caleb needs is to go into a dysfunctional situation, because the way that he acts is not going to work out. It's just not. So he has to go somewhere that at least is guided in some way. The Bears are lost at sea right now. I don't know what they're going to do, what they're doing, anything. Like, they're in big trouble. Sucks for Justin Fields, though. I'm sad about that. Also, really, really, really like Kirk Cousins to the Falcons. I'm going to say it. I really like it. I really like it.
Nice.
I really like it.
Marcus like, thank you. Look, I really like the move in general. I think he's gonna be really good for that team if he plays like at all the way he's played in Minnesota the past 6 years. The contract is the thing that I was like, oh yeah, I would not be comfortable with the Vikings doing this, just because that doesn't work for us. It hasn't worked for us, and that's okay. So hopefully he will work for another team.
How many
hopefully that's the Falcons.
Vikings had over his career, like 6 years.
He has playoff bursts, I think 4. He's got one. He's got one playoff victory. One.
Gosh, that's probably more than the Falcons have over the last 6 years. It's been a while.
But how much? Like, we were paying him
2016, guys.
a lot of money. So like,
definitely more than the Dolphins.
At a certain point,
you get desperate. Yeah.
Yes, I understand the Falcons
on the side
situation.
of cutting it, and we're on the side of
exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm hoping he works. I'm hoping he works for y'all. I really am.
What do you feel about the? Who'd you sign? Aaron Jones.
Yeah, that's a 1 year thing.
Weird.
I think basically we signed Darnold to a 1 year thing and Aaron Jones to a 1 year thing. I think we're just trying to put together something so we don't get embarrassed completely. However, I think we're gonna go after a QB in the draft. It's probably gonna be, unfortunately, Meditation Man, who I'm not excited about. But you know what? I like that's get a lot of cap room, sign JJ, bring in a young guy on a rookie contract. Hopefully he's good, and just kind of start rebuilding from there. We got a lot of free agency on defense this year, which I appreciate. We brought in the guy from Houston, Greenard. I don't know how you say his name. Thank you. Grenard, whatever his name is. He was good last year. I'm excited to see him. Another guy from Houston, I think we brought in. So they're trying to pump up the defense a little bit under Flores. Offense is just like, let's throw something and hopefully don't get embarrassed, I think, and try to get a rookie QB in there that's gonna hopefully be a franchise QB.
Mason, in 4 seconds, tell us about Brian Flores.
Great defensive coordinator, terrible head coach.
All right, there we go.
All I need him to be is a defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
So.
No one's asking, but the thing about the Dolphins is that Chris Greer is showing me that the salary cap isn't real. That's all I have to say about it. It's just
players have you had to let go without extending? It's a lot. The salary cap is real.
You had to let Christian Wilkins, Brandon Jones, Robert Hunt. Those are the big ones. And those are the ones who got
Christian Wilkins got
big,
paid.
Yeah, he did. And he deserved it. He deserved it. He bet on himself and he won. That's what he deserved to get. We weren't going to pay him that.
I think you see him gearing up for the Tua extension too.
They are. And what people don't understand is that Tua extension is going to be backloaded and it's going to give you cap space once you get it. The projected salary for him, it's going to give the Dolphins $8 million more in cap space once they do it.
Yes, but it'll hit you on the back end. But
the salary cap isn't real.
Cousins.
Yeah, but it's not real. But it's not real because all you got to do.
It's real. You can only kick it down the road for so long before you eat some of it.
What you really, in all honesty, what you need is an owner like Stephen Ross, who's just going to convert everything to bonuses and pay it out. That's what you need. Because Stephen Ross is 85 and he's like, I need to see something before I die. So he's just I
don't care.
Here, Jalen Ramsey, I'm going to write you a $60 million check today and we'll figure it out later. It's just crazy. It's nuts. But he has money to do it. So whatever.
It's the cheat code. And we just don't see it, happen enough. The NBA is willing to do it. Major League Baseball is willing to do it.
Dude, NFL, why doesn't Jerry Jones? Jerry Jones has more money than any of these guys. I don't know why Jerry doesn't do it.
What are the Cowboys haven't done a single thing in free agency, right? Do we have any idea what's happening?
Well, they gotta either extend Dak or lose him because they can't tag him and he's got 1 year left.
Yeah.
Cowboys fans, hit us up in the comments about how much you love Dak Prescott being
and how much you love Mike McCarthy staying on.
Yeah. Kenneth Murray going to the Titans, right? Some OU.
Yes. Titans had a really good free agency.
Neville
Neville
Gallimore going to the Dolphins. That's fun.
That's a fun one. The Calvin Ridley overpay by the Titans.
That's an overpay, yes. But at least they're doing something.
They got a guy. It's a guy.
They wouldn't pay AJ Brown $100 million, but they'll pay Calvin Ridley 92.
An older Calvin Ridley with a gambling problem. You're just here's 92 milli, baby, 50 guaranteed.
It's crazy.
We'll see you in Vegas.
Maybe Mike Vrabel ended up being lucky after all and getting let go.
Take a year off, hang out a little bit.
Yeah. All right. That's going to do it. Episode 113 in the books. Be sure to like, subscribe on our YouTube channel. Follow us on all of our social media at Program Guys with a Z. Find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Rate us 5 stars. Go ahead and leave us a good review as well. We're going to see you next week, folks. The offseason rolls on. Have more spring ball. We are next week going to be a month away from the spring game. So it's going to be a whole lot of fun. Stick with us. That's going to do it. Ryan, take us out.
Keep pushing it, baby.
Bang.
Bang, bang. More.
Word, boys.
3, 2, 1. There's not one guy, one person in the history of this program that's bigger than the program.
What's better than this. Guys being dudes.